Hi, my name's Benji and welcome to Dice vs Cards. Today we bring you an episode of the Versus Chronicles, where we pit two games against each other that share a sometimes obvious, other times completely fabricated connection between them, giving you a whistle-stop tour and only mostly serious overview of both games. These videos will act as a record of what I've been playing recently, and so ladies and gentlemen, it's fight time with Dice and Cards. Introducing to you first, in the blue corner, a game that spent much of its youth in beauty pageants and a name that just glides off the tongue, Celestia. And now introducing to you, in the red corner, a game whose name lulls you into that sense that there's some kind of party going on. Welcome to the dungeon. And so we kick things off with Celestia, a gift provided by Santa Claus under the tree this year, which brings with it some predominantly push your luck and dice roll into proceedings. Housed in a small to medium or smedium box, this is certainly a game that's a looker. Happy to show off just how goddamn beautiful it is, not only on the outside, but on the inside too. Surely that's a keeper, right? Well, kinda. The game comes with this cardboard hot air balloon transport thingy that you have to construct because that's where your little pawns are going to be going along for the ride. Again, it looks great, but there is too much window dressing on show here, because the problem is push your luck games should make you feel a little bit of tension, a little bit of suspense, but I didn't get too much of that from playing this game. The crux of it is you each take turns as the captain of the ship, and it's your job to overcome the obstacles, be it dodgy weather conditions, flying elephants or crooked politicians, that the ship's going to face each turn. And you do that by rolling the dice to determine the threat, and then discarding cards from your hand to either deal with them, or if you can't, the balloon does its best nosedive impression and takes you all down with it. But before the captain plays the game of "look at me, I can fly," the passengers get to look at the threat on the dice, look at the level of terror in the captain's eyes, and then decide whether to get off at the city you're docked at. Quite the choice. But as you can imagine, the longer you stay on board this flying death trap, the more points you're going to get if you stay in the air, and the more likely you are to win the game. Look, this is an easy breezy game. To me it just looks better than it actually plays. There's next to no ability to bluff or deduce what's the best course of action. You just have to value the threats facing you and make a decision on that basis. And it's for that reason this just didn't touch me where I wanted it to. Whilst it's a sound game mechanically, I just can't see me rushing back to this. I'd play it again, sure, but I probably won't be the one doing the suggesting. I also wonder if this would be so popular if it weren't so gosh darn attractive. So let's leave it as there's beauty within and beauty without, but perhaps it's not the whole ticket. Moving swiftly on, we come to the small box game, Welcome to the Dungeon. A game so sophisticated its sequel was named Welcome Back to the Dungeon, dispensing with the usual Roman numerals game. This is Push Your Luck incarnate, providing the link between these two games, and to be fair, this is also fantastic looking. It's just thematically set quite apart from Celestia. This one has been in my collection for a while, and my boys really appreciated this one growing up. This is one of the few games where they tend to work against me as much as they do each other. The normal course of play is they pick on each other and I feast on the leftovers. But I digress. This is a game that pits you semi-cooperatively at first as an eager hero looking to take down the nasty denizens of a dungeon. Each hero has its own set of strengths, but also silver bullets against certain monsters. You then spend your turns one at a time playing a balancing act of either populating the dungeon of monsters you think you can manage, or willfully adding them to the dungeon so they can crush your opponents if they're the ones that ultimately do the dungeon diving at the end of the round. But wait, so far so simple? You can also choose to strip your wanting hero of some of its weapons and armour, thus making it that much harder for the hero to get out alive. Finally, you can also pass, because at some point you're thinking this hero is going to be monster chow no matter what. So then the lucky or unlucky player that gets to ride that bucking bronco dressed as a hero deep into the dungeon will either have all the necessary skills and equipment to be triumphant, or will meet their untimely demise deep underground. This is very much a pick-up game. Each round lasts not much more than 5 minutes, and there are a handful of heroes to choose from in the box, so it's no trouble at all getting through all the heroes in one sitting. And it also provides that all-important tension and suspense that push your luck games should. Maybe it's all the fond memories I have of playing this, or maybe I just have a lot of time for a game that does exactly what it says on the tin. Either way, I'm glad this is in my collection, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. Talking about suspense, I don't think it will surprise anyone that my winner here on this day and at this time is the oh so cool Welcome to the Dungeon. There's clearly a great deal of support out there for Celestia, but as I mentioned, it just didn't hit me in the feels, whereas WTTD brings a great deal of fun to proceedings. We do hope that you've been raucously entertained and highly educated by this video, and so if you have, please do give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with what we do.